and welcome back. This is episode 17 of Astrological Intentions, recorded Tuesday, November 6, 2018. I am Alex, your host, as well as my beautiful astrological mom,
Sandy Rueve, and today is election day.
Yes.
So I hope you got out there and voted your independent vote on how you want to see the world
change. We have in the transits, new moon in Scorpio,
inner transformation,
Jupiter in Sagittarius,
expand your boundaries,
moon in Sagittarius,
all seems lucky, but take small bites,
Venus retrograde trine Mars,
sexy new dance,
Sun sextile Pluto.
Strengthen your power.
We want to give a shout out to all of those that have purchased the talismans from last year. We are all sold out. Last week.
And last year and last week.
Right.
We were
sold out of a lot.
We did a great job.
We were busy this last weekend. And then we also have some Talisman Times coming up, a new moon in Scorpio,
which is tomorrow, November 7th at 11:02 a.m. I'm going to grab the talisman for Friday, November 9th, and one on Sunday, November 11th.
Then we have coming up on the horizon, Sandy and I discuss our past events, as well as coming up, Jupiter in Sagittarius Webinar and Workshop.
The Women Are Rising in Sedona.
Our Mexico retreat, only 2 spots left.
And the Kohler, Wisconsin Talisman Workshop in December.
And finally, our house, where there was an unfortunate story about the Venus opposing Uranus, the unexpected surprise. But it turns out to be a great ending.
And to welcome our fact checkers.
They're basically our interns now.
They gave us great information, like soon after our last podcast.
So we'll figure out what is the largest mammal in the sea. So stick around for this episode of Astrological Intentions.
You got the keys. You got the keys. You got the keys. You got the keys.
Okay, and welcome back. We are so excited to talk to you about this episode 17, where we have in the transits coming up, we have new moon in Scorpio.
That actually happens tomorrow, Wednesday, November 7th. It happens at 10:02 a.m. Chicago time. You know, and we are now on standard time, everyone, except I was in Arizona and I didn't get my extra hour. I was pretty not happy. They're the only state that doesn't change, I think, or part of Indiana.
Yeah.
But, and so the new moon in Scorpio tomorrow is the inner transformation. It really is to see and be empowered by deep secrets, the deep dark, a scary place that we try to avoid. You know, maybe it's an urge to do something, or it's a project that needs to be involved. You need to be involved in, but there really is a renewal, because it's also trine the current ruler, the modern ruler of Pluto. So there's a renewal energy here.
Yeah.
So it's actually one of my talisman times.
Right. And it's a very special talisman time for you too, because it's the new moon.
Right. It's the new moon.
We'll get into that during talisman times, of course.
Let's keep moving here then. Thursday, this is the big thing. It's a really big shift.
This is
November 8th.
I was even talking to people about it this past weekend, and people knew about it. People knew.
They did, yeah.
People knew about Jupiter transiting into Sagittarius. Its happiest sign.
It's home. You know, Jupiter is a masculine sign. It's a benefic. It's the planet that gives more. It expands, it grows anything it touches. And it's been in Scorpio for this last year. And on Thursday, November 8th at 6:38 a.m., Jupiter goes home. Now, Jupiter has not been home in 12 years. This is a 12-year cycle. And so it gets to stay here in Sagittarius until December 2nd of 2019.
Woo-hoo.
So really anyone that has any planets in Sagittarius.
13-month party.
Especially, most people know their sun sign. So, it's almost like I could wish you like a happy super duper birthday, you Sagittarians, because when Jupiter comes and hits your sun, while it's transiting this home sign, it's like going to give you a super powered birthday when it hits your sun. Like the sun, you get a birthday once a year when the sun comes around and hits your sun. But when Jupiter comes around and hits your sun,
well, bam.
Once every 12 years, this is really a special time, and really see where and how you can grow this energy. It's really an expansive. It's actually asking you to expand your boundaries, your new beliefs, your new experiences. It's about yourself and how you interact with the world. You may want to choose to go, and this is really for everyone, but I'm just linking in those.
Also, people can take a look at their chart and see where Sagittarius is in their chart.
Right. Even if you don't have sun in Sagittarius and you don't know your rest of your chart, everyone has a cusp angle, a cusp house ruled by the sign of Sagittarius. So Jupiter is going through your house systems. And actually, when we talk about the horizon, this is why we're having this big event Thursday and Friday. Thursdays is sold out. Friday, we have a couple more spots.
Right.
Which is an online webinar workshop, which we're doing more and more of those because, we kind of want to stay home a little bit. We're not home very often.
We have to whisper because Sagittarius is listening.
Yes, Sagittarius. We're going to. Well, it's interesting, and we'll talk about that at the.
So
the
Jupiter in
horizon.
Sagittarius, it's back home. It is so happy to be here, and it's like cosmic Santa Claus coming back, and this is like the 12-year Christmas.
Right, and that's funny you should say that, but in all respect, Barbara Shermer, my very first astrologer, who you gifted me, which set me on my whole new path, called Jupiter the cosmic Santa Claus, right? To make your list, and make it big.
Yeah.
This is seeing the big picture and everything. And what's really cool, by 1 p.m. that same day, Thursday, November 8th, the moon moves into Sagittarius. So this is incredible, like coming home for emotional growth. And so when the moon gets there, and we got the moon conjunct Jupiter in the sign of Sagittarius, it's a lucky placement. But this is so big that we really need to take little niblets, little small bites, because if we get too much, it may want to make us overindulge. So it's emotional growth. It's, about feelings. It might want to bring some comfort in and just maybe overdo some things. So we want to take little tiny small bites. Not that big one of that mouth that you got, whatever that air bite you just did. Yeah. I know you're hungry. We're going to get to food. But then by Friday, November 9th, in the morning around 9:12 a.m. And when I say
sexiest of days.
Well, I said around 9:12. It is like dead on 9:12 a.m.
Oh, yeah. Just give or take a few seconds.
That the Venus is still in retrograde. From this point on, she only has one more week in her retrograde phase.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And can we just
that went by
say
fast.
40, well, it's been now 33 days. She's been in retrograde. And by the way, so she's past her Kazemi to the sun. She is now a morning star. And if I was in Arizona these last 5-6 days, and I've gotten up early every morning because I had to, and went out and looked, and Venus was rising before the sun came up.
Beautiful.
And the moon was positioned right there as well, because we were getting the third quarter moon, and then moving. It's right now, the moon is into the balsamic phase. But folks, if you can get outside before dawn, if you can get out there like 4:30 in the morning, 5:30, something like that, you'll be able to see Venus coming up over the horizon before the sun. Now the moon's going to be
bright
moving.
and glorious.
Yeah, and she's just, and on this date, this Friday the 9th, she's going to be trining Mars. And
wow.
Well, it's really, I titled it, a sexy new dance, because whenever you've got the Venus and the Mars, the male and the female, energies in a nice harmonious connection, like the trine, which is 120 degrees. They become dancing partners. And remember, she's still in retrograde.
There's nothing better than a good dance partner, I will say. I think it's the connection is right on, and especially in the dynamic of, and I love Latin dance, so I'm speaking on, some experience.
Your terms.
Some experience in my own terms, in my own, interest. But when there's a strong masculine lead, it makes all the difference. And when I've noticed even within myself, especially with my Venus and Aries, I want to lead.
You do.
I always, and this is something that shows up in my dancing. And
well, you also have Venus conjunct Jupiter
in Aries.
In Aries.
Yes.
So it makes you even want to lead more.
And I have a really hard time with just allowing and kind of being in that more feminine space, in a dance part, like in a dancing, whatever we're doing, like a
program,
step or a program or, a song. And it's just hysterical because I try, even when I'm trying to release, I still try to anticipate what is the next move, and I'll do a completely wrong move. And the guy's like, hello? Are you even paying attention to my cues? So anyway, that's just a different aside to that sexy dance that you're talking about.
Sexy new dance. And I'm calling it a new dance because, Venus is still in retrograde. And so it's just a good time to relate to other people. Venus really is a lot about relationship. To move, Alex, listen, to move effortlessly into and through your artistic expressions.
That was a dance in itself.
Yeah.
All that you just said.
Yeah. Into and through. I had to
into and through.
Into and through.
And
into and through to the right. In through and to the left.
It sounds like we're...
Actually, it kind of sounded good.
Right now?
Yeah, it sounded this way and that way, and this way and that way, up and back and forward.
Into and through.
Sunday, November 11th, exactly at 9:18 a.m., the sun is sextile Pluto. So sun is, still in the sign of Scorpio and sextile to the modern ruler. And sextile is 60 degrees. It says, hey, opportunities are present, but you need to take action. You need to initiate these. And so it's to express your internal power. I mean, this Pluto goes deep. This is a transformational, it's like evolution. To transform your inside power into a positive manner, expression. So, it's a help. This is a huge help.
Huge help.
Yeah. I titled it, Strengthen Our Power. And in fact, I'm going to grab this energy on Sunday. That's one of our Talisman Times.
Interesting. And so what would you say is a great practice during the sun sextile Pluto?
Really to find, which is really what the talisman will be about, to feel the vitality returning. To pull that up and to know it's been there the whole time, that the sun gets to kind of plug in again. But you have to let the cord just fell out of the wall
outlet.
Of the outlet. Initiate, get your feet moving, get over there, plug it in.
Get your butt up.
Plug it into the wall and you'll feel a surge. It's a surge. It's a gift. It's easy.
I like that.
Yeah. It's easy, but you have to take initiative. You got to go plug yourself in.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I like that one a lot.
Yeah. So
I'm excited. That one's Sunday.
That's Sunday. And that's kind of how we're wrapping up this kind of week of Tuesday to Tuesday.
Yeah. So this is going to be a great feel good for, the coming Monday. So when you're in your car, blast that music, turn up, feel that vitality returning. Just, snap your finger, drum on the steering wheel, the dashboard, and just get back into that groove. Feel that warmth, that vitality coming back into your body, and dance a bit.
Yeah. I mean, we're going into we're in the fall, the fall season. And so it's getting darker, earlier. And so it doesn't mean that our sun's not shining, right? It doesn't mean that just because the sun goes down over the horizon earlier and earlier, that we can power up when the sun goes down, right? That we have this internal light, this internal warmth. So let it shine, folks, let it shine.
Well, this is going to be a great week. I'm so
excited.
Maybe
that's what I call it. Let it shine. I might have to rewrite this little thing that we're talking about.
Let it shine. Now on to Talisman Times.
Talisman Times. I usually go over what I've made over the past week, but there's no sense because
they've all sold.
Well, they found
out.
the manifester found attached to their proper talisman, and those are being worn and being actually engaged in the power right now. So they've met their wearer,
match.
Match.
That's so exciting. And really this is a great time for me just to say a really deep-hearted thank you all for, buying our talismans, purchasing and showing support for what we do and our creativity, because what that does is it helps us continue to help the tribe, continue to bring mindfulness to people.
And it's the tangible item that allows their power to surge.
Right.
They're doing the work.
Yeah. And I like to call it a compass, because whenever I have my bracelet on and, somebody will either make a comment or I'll even look down and notice it's not even on my wrist, but it's a physical representation of what I'm working on. And what I want to really dive deep into, because part of the time, it's just like par for the course, and I guess I'm just going with the flow and I'm doing as society says, and I'm not really paying too much attention to what is deep within me that I want in my life, that I want to choose every day.
Right. It's a daily practice,
and
wearing
even when
talisman.
It's challenging.
And talisman wearing is this spiritual daily connection. It's a ritual that you do every day. So these are the ones I'm going to do for this week.
Yeah, drum roll, please.
And of course, during the new moon, I grab probably about 5 hours of the very first new moon time. And
right.
It's at 15 degrees of Scorpio. This happens on Wednesday. This is tomorrow, November 7th. At 11:02 a.m. And will be 108 all clay. I mean, this really takes me some hours.
Yeah.
For emergence and renewal of emotional issues and urges.
Interesting. Yeah, with the Scorpio.
Pulling it up.
Yeah. I like that. And disembodying the roots, the root systems that we want to dispose of that aren't working for us, that maybe work a little bit too easy, that we are like, okay, taking it out.
And let's not forget that Jupiter, now Jupiter's out of the sign of Scorpio, where Jupiter's been this whole last year.
It's been a lot of this upheaval.
So a lot of that Scorpio stuff coming up of, why we're not pleased, and what about other people's resources, and, all of the things that are
a terrible reflection in society.
It's, it's nasty, and what we need to do now is to emerge this renewal. I did just see, I read somewhere today that the ozone layer is being repaired. And I found that really interesting, just as this
Jupiter and Sag.
Jupiter and Sag is coming through, but Jupiter having been past and through Scorpio. I mean, it does have, a day and a half left, right? And that's why this emergence and renewal of emotional issues and urges. It's like, that makes sense.
Right. And even, if you look at
the ozone layer is getting repaired.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And even if you look at, and especially with Sagittarius being a air sign too, but Scorpio being that water sign.
Sagittarius is a fire sign.
Oh, fire sign. Whoops, totally messed up. And
fact checker. We don't need anyone to do that. We're going to give you a shout out here at the end.
But, well, I was going to say that, the progression from Scorpio into Sagittarius is that we go and we dive real deep and we get muddy and we get, smelly and in those troubles, and we see those reflections that we don't want to see. But then in that progression where Scorpio is now becoming more mature, it then births into Sagittarius, where it is optimistic thinking. It is that higher knowledge of, wow, I've been there, I've experienced so much, and this is what I call wisdom.
I'm going to the mountaintop.
Yeah. And I'm going to teach everyone about it. Mm-hmm. Preach. Okay.
Teach and learn.
I like that. Okay. So new moon in Scorpio, and so whenever there's a really important new moon, you do make the new moon malas.
Absolutely. I do.
And those are about
five. Well, they're on the high end. They're $350. And actually I just sold one, to a lady that when I did the energy exchange for her and she picked up the mala, she literally, I wanted to tell you the story. We haven't even had a chance to catch up, me and you, from our on the horizon travel. She literally almost fell backwards when she picked up the energy of the mala because there's so much of it, 108 beads.
Right.
And literally I invited her to sit down in the chair and she says, no, I really like the shake-up here of this, of holding this and feeling this because it's really something new for me and and I need a new stimulation.
Wow.
Yeah. And she just couldn't believe. She was like,
shout out to her bravery.
Fanning
I like that.
herself. She was just like, oh my gosh. Well, it was just right after Dr. Joe Dispenza, did his intro presentation, and
so
she ran
completely tuned in.
Ran down to the booth and said, I need my tangible item that has my desire and goal connected to it that I can take into my meditation.
There you go.
So anyway, so now I'm making this new moon mala for that particular energy.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah. So the next one, Friday, November 9th. Yeah, folks, a 3:39 a.m. That alarm ringing at around 3 a.m. for me to get my butt out of bed because Venus is still in retrograde here. I mentioned it in the transits and trine to Mars. This intention to step in line with my artistic expression.
Right.
The affirmation, I am super motivated to create this new and rediscovered passion.
Yeah.
But that's 3:39 a.m. So anyone wants to do a ritual around that,
join in.
Please do. And of course, we're always using Chicago time, and we're in standard time here in Chicago. Mm-hmm. And the third and last one for the week that I'll be doing is Sunday, November 11th. November. I don't know what happened in my mouth right there.
I noticed that one.
Sunday, November 11th at 6:03 a.m. A little bit more doable for me when the sun is in sextile to Pluto. And this to express internal power in a positive manner. The affirmation, I find and feel my vitality returning to its peak expression. I'm back. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm adding that.
I like that.
Yeah.
Did you just add that?
No, but I wrote it earlier, and I was like,
I'm back.
Yeah, I'm back.
That is. It's a good feeling to be back in action.
Yeah, and to actually say it and have it be part of the affirmation is, because I like for anyone working my talismans, and this is part of the instruction when I do the energy exchange, is to say it out loud, both the intention and the affirmation, so that your ears can hear it. Mm-hmm. You can feel the vibration. Mm-hmm. Like we can hear our vibration of us speaking right now because we got these big microphones and these big headsets and all these lights going ding, 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 every time we talk. That's what they do. Ding, ding.
Oh, yeah.
So those are the Talisman Times. You ready for the next?
I really like those. And I think the Sun sextile Pluto is my favorite.
Okay, well then you can do a ceremony at 6:03. You can do your
I'll join you.
Dr. Joe meditation.
I'll do my Dr. Joe meditation. Let's do it.
Yeah, after your 18 push-ups.
Yeah. No,
Which actually,
15. I'm at 15 right now.
No, you're going to do 18 because you're going to have this vitality.
I'm back. My biceps are back.
Yeah, you should quick mention what you do.
Oh, well, I guess was that the Mars retrograde?
Yeah.
I started a little exercise in the morning that I literally roll out of bed
onto the floor,
flat, have my hands down, and I do as many push-ups as I can. And the rule is that once I reach a certain number, I can't go below that number. So I started out with 3, and these are big girl push-ups. These aren't the knees on the floor ones. These are big girl push-ups. And so I started with 3, and I struggled there. But now I am at 15. I'm
proud of you. I remember you were telling me that, and I was like, "Yeah, that sounds great. I'm going to do it too." And so, look, but I'm going to do the old lady ones. And then I got to about 7, and then I completely forgot about them. I think that's the old lady ways. I forgot that I had, because I just don't roll out of bed. I have
the old lady ones. You just forgot about it.
I forgot about it.
Or you wonder where you're at during it. Just like
I ask, why? Why?
What number am I on?
Yeah, I'm at 20.
Oh,
all right,
God,
next,
so funny.
right?
My
so
goodness.
anyway, yeah. So do that and see if you can get to 18. You'll report back.
Yes,
because you really will have more vitality and energy.
I would be up for getting on to 18.
And, Michelle, who I saw at the Celebrate Your Life, Phoenix, came up to me and thanked us for our podcast.
Cool. Hey, Michelle.
And said, I did a ritual at one of those that I was really struggling with. It was 2 weeks ago. And said, she got up and lit her candles because it was kind of an early morning one and literally repeated with that vision of the intention that I give right here and the affirmation, and she repeated it, and she was able to literally shift something in her abdomen.
Ooh, that is so cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, so she came up to thank me. Use these as rituals.
Yes.
Use these.
Why not? This is something so sacred and so universal for everybody. We all have these, and if there's one that totally speaks to you, think about it.
Well, actually, so let me add on to this.
Yeah.
So she wanted to see the bracelet that I had made, because obviously I had, because I had given this, and it had already sold. Because she had experienced the shift that she wanted to purchase the talisman bracelet that I made at that exact moment, to continue this manifestation of the shift that she gathered, and it was already sold.
Oh.
But should you feel a movement with any of these, if you do, which is so funny. So what I just said, right?
Do you do?
Yeah, because you know what a shift is when you have to and
why? Like, I have to shift? Is that like a fast shit? A shift? No,
it's movement. It means when you shift, you can be moving like things in your intestines.
I thought you meant like the word.
Well,
like it's a key word with all the youngins.
Well, obviously there's all kinds of key words that we use just right there. When it's like I
really have to shift right now.
But if you really do that, then
if you do that,
that's what didn't you catch it?
Now I'm catching it all.
We're in the shitter.
Oh gosh, okay, let's get out.
But it's the last time that the Jupiter's in Scorpio, so we can go down into the waste, into the muck, and into the into the crap.
Yeah.
So that was our little weirdo.
And we will shift out of there.
So we are running this really cool webinar.
I also want to, before we get into like what's coming up on the horizon, I want to talk about what was past on the horizon.
Oh my gosh.
Because I have yet to really catch up with you on, I was at the Hay House event in Las Vegas. You were at the Celebrate Your Life in Phoenix.
Amazing Celebrate Your Life event. Liz Dawn has a signature event in Phoenix.
But I will say mine is a huge contender.
Okay, you want to do a little
arm wrestle.
Arm wrestle right here? I don't know. You know I'm going to win on this one.
Oh, come on. I'm 15 push-ups.
Oh, but your elbow's not even on the thing.
Okay.
Which is called the table. Besides, I won. You know I won.
Fine, you can win.
That the Celebrate Your Life with amazing speakers. I just got home last night around midnight, and I mean, what can I tell you? It's our people. It's the people that are doing the big work.
I totally hear you. I mean, the people that I got to meet at Hay House, I want to give a quick shout out to all of you guys. Really, truly, the conversations that I have, the connections that I make with each and every one of you are so special to me. And it totally rejuvenates me at like a moment's time. And to learn through different perspectives of, there's so many people coming out of these, Dr. Brian Weiss, all of these Joe Dispenza, all of these workshops. And I always like to ask them, like, hey, what is one takeaway that you have? And so I'm basically getting all of these like little crumbles along the way. But what I love to see most is just people kind of shifting themselves and noticing that shift and valuing it. And so I just want to say a big shout out to all you Hay House people that I met. High five, keep going. Don't let this just plateau. Keep moving. Keep growing.
And then I'm going to give a bigger shout out to my CYL folks. I got to see same friends, clients that are coming back for their second, third, and fourth talisman and doing the energy exchange. But I was just getting wonderful downloads. I'm in just such a beautiful, sacred Sheraton Hotel, downtown Phoenix, where there was so much beautiful energy. Yeah. I will say Vegas is not always my favorite to go to, but if there's one reason I'm going to Vegas, it's for Hay House. It's for a spiritual endeavor. Seriously. Yeah. We have coming up on the horizon a Jupiter in Sagittarius. Remember, we were just talking about this. Jupiter in Sagittarius webinar and workshop. You almost said Shittarius. You almost said sanitation. Why are we so slap happy? It's so funny. Okay. Jupiter in Sagittarius. Yeah, so this is our webinar and workshop. And if you've been listening to our podcast, you know what's going on here. It is an incredible opportunity. It's a 3-hour workshop. We do your chart. We figure out where all of this Jupiter is happening for the next 13 months. Sandy gives you this distilled page or pages of what's coming up for you and what you need to know. Then when we get into our webinar, so there's either November 8th option at 1 p.m. Central Time or the November 9th option at 6 p.m. Central Time. And that's a 3-hour workshop where Sandy's teaching you about Jupiter and Sagittarius. I almost did it again. We're going into a meditation, and then you're coming out after this meditation with an affirmation. Sandy is going to be rolling each of your talismans while you're speaking your affirmation, instilling that in your talisman. Yeah. We then bake those here, ship them over to Bali. Those beads actually turn into the guru of a mala that you can wear, that you can meditate with, that you can use as a talisman. Then they're going to be shipping around the other side of the world as Jupiter in Sagittarius would have it. It's like go big or go home, but maybe go big on your way home. Go big all the way around the world and then get back home. So this is what we're talking about. This is this Jupiter in Sagittarius. It's going to be expansive, higher knowledge, big buoyancy, feelings of buoyancy. Nothing can bring you down. It is positivity, but it's a realistic positivity that we're going to be discussing. We have a few spots left open because I spent the whole day doing everyone's charts. And I mean, some people have like one person had like 2 two hits. Jupiter was hitting either, I was using the eighth harmonic, so it was either a conjunction or an opposition or a square or something. And then I wrote the dates down and, what that energy was expected to come in for them.
Right.
But some people had 8 aspects.
Wow.
8 hits.
Right.
And I gave their dates and the description, and they're going to be watching this all through the year, but they're setting their intention based on this Jupiter saying, growth. Is there overgrowth over here and not enough growth over on this side? Because, Jupiter can give you more than what you want, especially Jupiter crossing the ascendant. I gain weight every 12 years when Jupiter crosses my ascendant, and so do other people. So that's kind of one of the warnings. But maybe some people want to gain weight, that's a thing. Yeah.
That's a thing.
That's a thing I heard. I can't believe that, but I already got Jupiter on. I have Jupiter and Pluto on my ascendant in Leo. So I have this.
You remember when we
area kind of bigger anyway.
When we were in DC and when you said, we were talking a little bit about Jupiter, and Stu, shout out to you. When you told Stu, well, this is, a time when you can gain some weight. And all of a sudden Stu goes, yeah. He was so excited.
I guess that is a thing for some people. Yeah.
So also we have next weekend, November 16th to the 18th. And this is an opportunity to have like a little mini retreat. With
me. Like you stay at the house that I've rented. There's like 8 of us so far. We have space for 9. It's really affordable. I think it's going to be like $488 to spend 3 nights there.
In Sedona.
At this big, beautiful home.
Beautiful views.
We'll make our dinners and our breakfasts and get our coffee and maybe have some bottles of wine, and everybody chips in, and we'll just be in this it's called, the event we're going for, which is Friday evening, Saturday, and Sunday during the day, but it's a day retreat.
Right.
We don't stay there at the Creative Arts Center.
And this is for women only. Sorry, guys. But it's called Women Arising. And it's put on by a friend of ours, Zephy. Yeah. And she travels the world and has been in the meditation realm for many, many years.
She's an intuitive healer.
She has lived in Sedona for...
she's from Greece.
20, 30 years.
Yeah, but goes to India. That's where all of her teachers are and gurus.
Yes. And so it's a very cool weekend for women, and it's going to be an even cooler weekend if you're there with Sandy and the crew.
Yeah.
So we have absolutely 1 spot left, and we welcome anybody
to
that
stay
wants
at the house.
To stay at the house
with us.
Right.
Yeah.
You can also get tickets for Women Arising if you'd like. But I say it's best.
Go with us.
Go with us. And I won't be there, unfortunately. I will be in England at the Joe Dispenza Brighton week-long intensive, and I will be in charge of 60 of my team members because I am a team lead for his world tour.
Congratulations, Alex.
Thank you.
That's brilliant for me to watch my daughter do that.
Thank you. Yeah. I make you proud. Trust me.
And I mean, you're the youngest and, anyway.
Okay.
And I just saw Dr. Joe.
Yes.
Was that yesterday or the day before?
But he was both at Hay House as well as Celebrate Your Life.
Yeah.
That man can clone himself. I have no idea how. But
he doesn't sleep. That's why. That's how he does it.
I'm feeling it. So then we also have just 2 spots left for our Mexico retreat. And guys, I mean, come on. This is
La Ventana, Mexico. You fly into Cabo. We have drivers pick you up that take you 2 hours north. We're in this beautiful, eco-friendly, right on the Sea of Cortez. You could supboard in the morning, every morning, and kayak. Mm-hmm. And then we are served incredible food. Go back and listen to Marcella.
You'll never be hungry.
I mean, and there's no snacks. It's like, I think we need to go get some, at least almonds or something, or bananas. Let's go to the store. And we never once thought of eating food.
Nope.
Until it was put in front of us and we're going, I think we are kind of hungry.
So we have one
One room.
single.
One
We have
room.
one room left. So that's either for one person that wants to pay the single occupancy or two people that want to pay the double occupancy. I know that these are going to go. So if you are thinking about it, and this is your chance. This is your chance calling you right now.
Yeah, and it's myself and my daughter Alex. And, when you talk about two Pisces planning an event, it really is a magical, creative time. We make things up that are brilliantly delivered for healing.
Mm-hmm.
We are true Pisces.
We make it all about you guys because this is what we do. We print out all your charts. We have everything organized. You don't have to worry about anything.
Nope.
We are on site. Nope. Head to your room, take a little siesta during lunch. It's beautiful. You don't have to worry about much. Everything is taken care of there, and the staff is brilliant.
And the cost, everything is included, except airfare
and alcohol. That's what's coming up on the horizon,
and that's January 5th through January 12th.
Right.
It's a great time to get. In fact, we just got Dana, who's a school teacher.
Yeah.
She says I don't go back to school until after that time. She's like, I have the time.
Shout out to you, girl. I can't wait to meet you.
Yeah.
So if you guys have any questions, of course, reach out to me, info@intentionbeads.com. Also, check us out on Instagram, and you can direct message us at intention_beads. So then we have finally our house. And I say this with
Well, our house is where Alex and I discuss something that has occurred in this past week that may have something to do with the astrological transits that we had talked about for the week.
Or just random stuff that we want to talk about.
Well, this one is immediately after we left here. Mm-hmm. And we are talking about, at our podcast last week, we talked about the Venus retrograde was opposing the planet Uranus.
Which you said was unexpected surprises.
And I also said it was happening, on the morning of the 31st, the Halloween, and to say, watch for things to go bump in the night. Do you remember I used that quote, bump in the night? As we left here and you dropped me back at home and you went to play pool because you're an amateur pool player and you went to a place that you normally don't play pool. And within an hour...
I was substituting for a friend.
And within an hour, you're getting buzzes in your back pocket of your phone asking... is this your charge? Your credit card's getting...
Were you trying to charge $1 at Marathon Oil?
Were you trying to charge this? Is this fraudulent? Is this truly you?
And
Constantly.
Here I am in the middle of a pool game being like, why is my phone blowing up? I'm getting all these calls. I'm just I'm turning them off. I'm putting on my do not disturb because I have to be focused. And so once I was finally done with the tournament... I walk outside to my car. I was going to go ahead to visit a friend who was unfortunately at the hospital, but I open up my car door and noticed that I was looking around being like, why is there snow and ice everywhere? And it had been raining crazy that night. And I looked at everything and everything was so wet. And so I'm, trying to figure out what's going on. I notice my whole entire window is blown out.
Busted.
And my purse, my laptop, my everything that I tried hiding neatly in the little corner was gone.
Yeah, break in the middle of the night.
Yep.
Breaking and entering.
That happened. So I am now recovering and learning a big lesson and a valuable lesson of letting go, because this is just material things that I do value.
Well, especially like you said, my purse is gone, my wallet's gone. Okay. But my computer, as the marketing guru that you are, everything is on this.
Right.
This is all of the videos and all of the marketing pieces and, because she manages the website. So, that was a big,
It's an upheaval. But also it's a chance to set the slate clean a little bit.
So say what you did the next morning.
And so I got a wonderful tip from a friend who said, they probably just wanted your laptop and whatever valuables were in it, and all of the other stuff they're just going to throw in a dumpster somewhere. You know, they're going to run away, making sure that nobody's following them, chuck it in a dumpster, take all the things that they want. And so check out all the dumpsters that are around. And at first I was like, oh man, I really don't know if I want to go dumpster diving right now. But it was the next morning, and I just kind of felt determined to at least try and say that I tried, so that
because those dumpsters were going to get dumped, cleared,
and some of them were. So when I was driving around in this new loaner of a car, since I was getting my car window fixed, a lot of them were cleaned out, which was unfortunate, but I wasn't going to go in the middle of the night, dumpster diving.
No. I'm like, get
I'm
home,
smarter
feel
than that.
safe. Feel safe.
I don't want anything going bump, 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 bump in the night.
Yeah.
So when I opened up one of the dumpsters, there sat 4 people's personal bags. And I was pulling out backpacks. I was pulling out laptop bags. I was pulling out, and these were bags that had, you know, nursing student books in them. One person was
an insurance broker. One who I just want to give a quick celebration to. I found one of the owners, and she works as an adoption agent, and so I'm going to meet up with her to give her back her laptop bag and her Dooney and Burke purse, where of course her wallet is gone and the laptop is not in the laptop bag, but her other things are there.
But her other things are in there, and that's you know, if I could do anything. You know, and when I saw those things in the dumpster, clearly there was no value for me. Yeah. Clearly, you know, but my hope was, oh my gosh, I'm going to pull out all of these bags and see mine. I'm going to see mine. I didn't, but what I did do is, you know, I was like, these people are feeling the exact same way I'm feeling. They're feeling, you know, violated. They're feeling like lost. They're feeling like, you know, bummed out. And I'm going to do whatever I can, because I would want anyone else to do this for me.
Please, yeah.
I'm going to want anyone else to do this for me. I'm going to bring these back to the police office and try and get these back to their owner. So I did. I brought it to the police station. They pretty much told me, yeah, we can take it from you, but the fact that, you know, there's a very slim chance that we're going to, 1, have the time, and 2, actually find these people is slim. So you have Facebook, right? And so anyway, I went searching and I found one, and I'm determined to find the other 3. So anyway.
Yes, beautiful, great people in the world. It's kind of like turning that crap, the situation, the situation into, you know, a blessing. Right. And it's through your action.
And I was
your
happy
vision.
to be somebody's guardian angel in that.
We can only hope that maybe yours returns in a similar way. But
I'm open to that.
At least you did that.
So, and also before we end too, I also wanted to thank our new interns. We have 2 new interns.
They've shown up volunteering.
Yeah, it's perfect. So last week when we were talking about the La Ventana, Mexico retreat, my mom...
I made a mention that the shark whale is the largest mammal in the ocean.
Right. Which then
and we're like, maybe,
I was
we
like,
don't know.
Not really sure about that. But thank goodness for our new interns, because they immediately sent me all of the data. So shout out to Claudia and Dale for sending me the fact checks of the blue whale is officially the biggest mammal in the ocean. However, the biggest shark in the ocean is the whale shark.
Yes.
So...
yeah, I was like, is that right? Mammal or shark? Yeah. Okay.
So we got
Come swim with it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's many of them.
Right.
Yeah.
And we go searching for them. We jump right in and they are right there. I mean, you're not necessarily allowed to like reach out and touch them, but if they touch you, that's totally fine. So
Not really. It's not fine. It's not fine at all.
No. They are very slow moving. So anyway, that is a wrap for this episode, episode 17. We really love you guys. If you guys like what we talk about and the jokes we make, at least maybe like 1% of them, please give us a 5-star rating on iTunes. We would really appreciate that. And share with people. Don't just do the 5-star if you wouldn't mind.
Say something. We want to know who you are.
Comment. Tell people about what they're like missing out on. Hello. I mean, mother-daughter duo that, talks astrology and is semi-funny. Shifty, maybe. They're very shifty. You could put that in there if you'd like. But anyway, that's a huge help for us. Also, if you share with any of your friends, that's, a big hug from us. And we would love to hear, anyone that you are sharing it with, let us know.
Ask questions. Maybe ask a question there.
Yeah.
Say some really nice things and then say, I wonder what about this? And we can answer it.
We want to keep this communication going. So, I want to shout out again to our fact checkers who were so on point. You know what we forgot to talk about on the horizon? What?
Is the event that we're doing at Kohler.
Oh, Kohler, Wisconsin. Yes. And we actually just tonight recorded a astrological interview. So that will be coming up soon. So keep an eye out for that. It is with their manager at Yoga on the Lake. So it's Destination Kohler. It's in Kohler, Wisconsin. And if I haven't said Kohler, and you don't know what I'm talking about, just think of shifting. Think of shifting, and what do you shift on? And what do you wash your hands with? And what do you shower with?
But that's Saturday, December 8th. From 2:30 to 5:30, Alex and I will be there doing charting. You'll be making your own talisman because we'll be pulling in the energy of that moment.
Right. So Kohler, Wisconsin has this beautiful yoga studio, and we have been accepted into bringing a workshop there. So we would love to have you guys. Email me, check out our website, intentionbeads.com. We would love to hear from you. And thank you again for listening to this episode of Astrological Intentions.
See you next week.